Let me tell you about a guy named Jordan. Jordan met this woman through a mutual friend. They vibed instantly. Great conversation, laughter, a spark that felt real. So Jordan leaned in. He started taking initiative, texting her first, setting up dates, making time in his schedule. He figured, this could be something. At first, she was responsive, engaged, flirty. It felt like the interest was mutual. But slowly, things started to shift. She became less available. Her texts took hours, sometimes days. She gave vague answers like, we'll see, or maybe. She cancelled plans last minute. Some days she was sweet, other days she felt miles away. And yet, her Instagram was always active. New selfies, comments from guys, stories at brunch, just not with him. Jordan felt confused. He hadn't done anything wrong. In fact, he was putting in more effort. He thought maybe she was just going through something. Maybe she needed space. Maybe if he just held on a little longer, she'd come around. But the truth hit him eventually. He wasn't a priority. He was a backup plan, an option. And here's the harsh truth. She didn't put him in that position. He allowed it. This happens to so many men. Guys who are solid, loyal, respectful, but still end up on the sidelines. Why? Because they forget their own value. They forget that they are the prize. This isn't about hating women or playing games. This is about self-respect. About not begging for attention, about walking like a man who knows what he brings to the table and never tolerates being treated like a leftover. So if you've ever felt like Jordan, listen up. Because this is what you do when a woman makes you an option, and why you need to start acting like the prize. 1. Spotting the signs. Early. Let's be real for a second. A lot of us know when something's off. Deep down, you feel it. But instead of listening to that gut instinct, you second-guess yourself. You give her the benefit of the doubt. You convince yourself that maybe she's just busy or shy or has a lot going on. You start making excuses for her while ignoring what your instincts are trying to tell you. One of the biggest mistakes men make is not spotting the early signs that a woman sees you as an option, not a priority. It starts subtle. She takes hours or days to respond to your messages, even though you know her phone is glued to her hand. She gives short replies, no follow-up questions, and makes no effort to keep the conversation going, unless you're the one carrying it. You notice that plans with her are always loose, always, let me see, or I'll let you know. And when she does agree, she cancels last minute or shows up late like your time doesn't matter. But when she wants something, attention, validation, a favor, suddenly she's quick to reach out. That's not affection. That's convenience. And let's talk about mixed signals. One day she's flirty and sweet, the next she's cold or distant. She'll give just enough to keep you hanging on, but never enough to feel secure. That hot and cold behavior isn't just confusing, it's intentional. She's keeping you around just in case, while she keeps her options open. Maybe you've tried to bring up the idea of being exclusive, and somehow the conversation always gets dodged. She'll say she's not ready, or she just wants to go with the flow. Or worse, she says labels ruin things. Translation? She wants the benefits of your time and energy, without the responsibility of committing to you. This is where most guys mess up. They stick around anyway, hoping she'll change, thinking that if they just prove how good of a man they are, she'll finally choose them. But you're not there to audition. You're not a backup plan or a safety net. When you start seeing these signs, low effort, flakiness, dodging exclusivity, that's when you pull back. Not in a petty or emotional way, but with clarity and self-respect. You're not chasing, you're observing. And if she's showing you she doesn't value you, believe her. The earlier you spot it, the easier it is to walk away with your dignity intact. Don't let potential blind you to reality. Don't fall in love with her vibe while ignoring her behavior. The truth is simple. If a woman wants you, you won't have to guess. You're the prize, and the prize doesn't beg to be chosen. 2. The silent withdrawal. Here's the move that separates the men who get walked on from the men who get respected: the silent withdrawal. No arguments, no long speeches, no drama, no, we need to talk, just action. See, when you realize a woman is treating you like an option, showing inconsistent interest, making you chase, playing hot and cold, the worst thing you can do is confront her emotionally. That's what she expects. That's what she's seen before. Guys begging for clarity, asking, what are we? Demanding answers. That doesn't get respect. It gets you labeled as needy. Real men don't announce the exit. They make it. The silent withdrawal is when you start removing your energy, your time, your attention, without warning. You stop chasing, you stop double texting, you stop initiating plans, you stop trying to force something that clearly isn't mutual. You're not ghosting, you're just no longer feeding into a one-sided connection. And trust me, she'll notice. She'll feel the shift. When a man who used to be available, responsive, and putting in effort suddenly pulls back without a word, it hits different. Not because you caused drama, but because you didn't. That silence speaks volumes. The key here is to do it from a place of strength, not spite. You're not being passive-aggressive. You're not playing games. You're simply making a choice. If she won't match your effort, she doesn't get your presence. And that's where your power is. Men lose power when they start trying to convince someone to see their value. When you silently walk away, you're saying, I know what I bring to the table, and I won't argue for a seat at yours. You'll be surprised how often that energy flips the script. She might circle back. She might suddenly want to talk. That's fine. But remember, just because she noticed your absence doesn't mean she's changed her intentions. You're not doing this to get a reaction. You're doing this because your time is valuable and you're done spending it on someone who doesn't truly value you. Sometimes the most powerful thing a man can say is nothing at all. Withdraw your attention, focus on yourself. Let your absence speak louder than any argument ever could. Because the prize doesn't chase, the prize moves on. 3. Upgrading your life visibly. So she treated you like an option. You walked away without a scene. Good. Now what? Now you upgrade your life. And you do it loud enough for the world to notice, but without saying a single word to her. This isn't about revenge. It's not about making her jealous. It's about stepping back into your masculine frame and focusing all that energy you wasted chasing her. On you. On your money, your body, your goals, your peace, your circle, your habits, your environment. You take the version of you that tolerated breadcrumbs, and you evolve into the man who doesn't settle for less than he deserves. Hit the gym like you mean it. Get lean. Get sharp. Move with intention. Start dressing like you give a damn. Groom yourself like you're about to meet the next chapter of your life. Lock in on your goals, whether it's building your business, stacking cash, leveling up your skills, or shifting your career. You show the world, and yes, even her, that you're not sulking, you're not stuck, you're rising. And here's the best part. You don't have to tell her a thing. You don't DM her, you don't post for her, you don't try to flex in her face. That's weak. What you do is let your progress become undeniable. People talk, social media whispers, friends mention your name in new circles, and eventually, she hears it through the grapevine. Damn, have you seen him lately? He's really doing his thing now. He looks different, in a good way. That stings more than any message you could have sent her directly, because now she's watching a man who she once had, but never valued, glow up without her. And whether she admits it or not, that sits heavy. But again, this isn't about her. It's about you reclaiming your energy and putting it into the one thing you can control, yourself. You become the guy who doesn't chase women. He chases purpose. And ironically, that's what makes women chase him. So if she made you feel like you weren't enough, good. Use it. Let it fuel you. Let it sharpen your focus. Because success, growth, and discipline are louder than any argument. Louder than any "I miss you." Louder than anything she thought you'd become. Upgrade your life, visibly. Not to win her back, but to never feel that small again.